ASEANs Turn from ICSID and Singapore's Resistance to the Rise of Regionalism by Kevin Crow in Currents, Journal of International Economic Law. Southeast Asia is quietly walking away from investor-state arbitration. One member, its wealthiest, is holding the door open. The inherited system, ICSID and UNCITRAL arbitration, was sold as depoliticized, neutral courts standing between transnational capital and politics. For much of the global South, which exceeded under structural adjustment pressure, that neutrality was experienced instead as a juridical discipline on sovereignty itself. The article reads the package as the legal limb of the Washington Consensus, and its claim to universality as increasingly untenable. ASEAN's response is what the article calls defensive pluralism. Through the ASEAN Comprehensive Investment Agreement, consent filters, local remedies rules, time-bound mediation, and joint interpretive bodies, authority shifts from arbitral tribunals back toward states. This is not fragmentation and not technocratic tinkering. It is norm production, grounded in post-colonial resistance, developmental pluralism, and legal sovereignty. The case studies show a region moving unevenly. Indonesia terminated dozens of bilateral investment treaties and rebuilt on its own model. Malaysia led the coalition that kept ICSIDs out of RCEP. Vietnam and the Philippines layered in screening and domestic-first reforms. And Singapore wanted ICSIDs in RCEP and was overruled by its own neighbors. Singapore, ASEAN's wealthiest member and its largest outbound capital exporter, holds the line for the old orthodoxy. ICSID-anchored arbitration, pre-dispute consent, minimal filters in its EU agreement, in the CPTPP, and beyond. The article reads this not as cosmopolitan sophistication, but as Washington consensus inertia, a measurable drag on the regional project. And an awkward fit. Singaporean firms now appear as defendants, not just claimants, in the global system. The deeper question, are courtrooms the right institution at all? Building on Robert Howes and Wolfgang Alschner, the article argues that political risk insurance is what ICSIDs pretends to be, a price on political risk. The proposal, elevate insurance, mediation, and other ex-ante instruments above arbitration, with domestic courts next, and ICSIDs as a residual mechanism, never the default. The conclusion reframes fragmentation as fertility. With ASEAN's embedded regionalism, Brazil's facilitation agreements, India's state regulatory treaties, and the EU's court proposal, no single model dominates, and that pluralism can democratize lawmaking rather than paralyze it. Singapore's posture will be decisive. ASEAN offers not a blueprint but a provocation, international law authored by those it binds, accountable to communities, histories, and futures. ASEAN's Turn from ICSID, Kevin Crow, Currents, Journal of International Economic Law, 2026.